Miss Kylie.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me. So, for those that don't know you, you are Kylie, and you've been my cousin forever. So, one of the things today that we had wanted to talk about was kind of the wellness journey of I don't know, what you did for wellness purposes in your 20s was different than what you started doing in your 30s. And then it changes again when you're in your 40s. And then you were very kind and you've sent me some DMs over this last year and months. As you've kind of watched my own wellness journey kind of evolve. But what do you say to the fact of how it's kind of changed through the decades for yourself? Like, what did you even do for wellness in your 20s?
Absolutely nothing.
Uh,
I did not really take up any interest in wellness until probably almost 40. So it's
okay.
only been a few years that I've really given any thought to this.
Okay.
Um, Probably started with just kind of skincare,
Yep.
feeling like you want to stay young and fresh looking.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just always a sucker for all the doodads. The red light therapy, I got my little lamp,
Yeah.
whatever it is, I'll try it out. I really like trying different products, different treatments.
Got it.
So
So some of that self-care wellness is kind of in the, what is the right form? Kind of borders along with that beauty side to things.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely. I would say in the last year or so, I've given more thought to other parts of wellness, but yeah, so it definitely started in beauty.
Okay. For those that don't know me, I was definitely big into fitness throughout my 20s, super active. Um, and it's funny because my husband will say that I'm quite an athlete, but I was raised as an indoor kitty cat. So I've never been able to fully kind of explore that part of myself. Um, just because of how I grew up. Like it just wasn't as big of an emphasis that maybe I could have done more with it. And then as I got into my 30s, I was still pretty physically active. Um, I have always practiced, I guess, self care. So whether that was running, whether that was attention to hydration or supplements, the kids really find it funny that it was in my teen years that I was wearing SPF 50 baby sunscreen as a teenager, just determined to not be the little raisin. And I guess that was also part of that era because there were some of my friends from high school whose mothers were tanning on the rooftops with tinfoil lined refrigerator boxes.
Wow.
Yep, yep. For me, there was a downward spiral. I would say late 30s with entrepreneurship and business. Um, and it just tanked. Like, I was giving everything to the family and to business. There's a great story that my husband talks about how when we had started a business and we had bought a different house and was moving, during that time, I never saw the new house in daylight. We had purchased like in October, and it wasn't till the very end of February the following year
Wow.
that I ever saw the home in daylight. Like that was the level of grind and hustle. And I think it's fair enough that those words of grind and hustle kind of have a negative connotation to them right now,
Mhm.
um, because it can be so toxic. What do you find is like part of your wellness piece at this point, whether it's physical or whether it's emotional?
Right now, I am just focusing on trying to feel like a human being, just have energy and sleep well and maintain energy without excessive caffeine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What's your secret to that? You talked about sleep. What's your like? Do you have like a ritual that you kind of stick to for sleep, or
Well, right now I take a lot of supplements. That's what
ah,
it is. I take a
okay,
lot of um, stress supplements
Okay.
to support stress. And yeah, I think I'm taking a few supplements that support sleep.
Got
So
it.
always in the evening, I have a little reminder on my phone to
Okay.
not forget, don't miss my time frame to take those
Got it.
vitamins or
Yeah.
supplements. And yeah, I try to keep a quiet, dim house,
Ah,
peace. I mean, that is a
okay.
wonderful thing about having adult kids is
Yeah.
um, they don't need you so much. So the whole evening is sort of unwinding.
Okay. There are people that talk about the limiting of screen time once it hits a certain time of night. Do you do that?
I wish I did, but I am definitely an addict. I'm always scrolling on my phone, seeing who has pretty content, what's going on out there.
Okay. Well, I when we were together last night, I had told you the that new phrase, revenge bedtime.
Yes.
So I was sharing with you one of my experiences in my wellness journey where I had gone to, I'm going to call it a health place, and I'll just leave it at that. And it was an extremely traumatic experience. And last night was my full disclosure. And then I had said to you, you are the only one I have told this to, which you were shocked by.
Yes, I mean, it was your story is pretty shocking. Pretty it seems like it needs to be talked about.
So this place initially was great. I was enjoying my new health journey initially. And as I was recounting the story to you of my trauma, um, first of all, I think it was 4 years ago. And because I like to disassociate with years, I keep it vague. I had chatted with the owner of this place um, about me owning a salon and spa and had very kindly shared with them, you know, so much about um, skin and body and health stuff. Um, could you recommend a skincare line that you think would be something worth checking out for me to carry at my salon and spa? And I had said openly to them, um, please no, don't, I don't want to retail or sell anything that you guys sell. Like, you guys are amazing. We're not in the same league. We are not in the same industry. We're not in the same industry. Um, but I just wonder if, with your recommendations, I too have navigated a lot in the beauty industry. I wonder what you would suggest. So they gave me a suggestion. And then came maybe a week or so later, they had messaged me to share that one of their team members was incredibly enraged
Wow.
that they had made some recommendations to me, and that their teammate felt incredibly threatened. And oddly enough, this was someone that worked for them that I was acquaintances with and had known for quite a few years outside of that business. So I was becoming such a frequent visitor and money spender at this healthy company that that the company decided to extend to my business. I believe it was a code that the employees of my company would be able to get discounted services and retail and whatnot. Now, here we are today, and we would call that a collaboration that influencers do all of the time, you know? So
Yes.
Chloe 10, you know, and
Yeah.
you can save 10% off the sweatpants that I love so much, right? Like,
Yes.
it is not a big deal. Well, I had shared this discount, and what I lovingly was saying, oh, they've chosen to kind of extend a lovely partnership to us in which you, my favorite employees of my own company, get to have a discount. Isn't that amazing? Boom. Apparently, one of my teammates at that time shared it with that business owner. Um, that I had put that on our personal staff page, and that said business owner of the healthy place was enraged. So then here's strike number 3 was vaginal rejuvenation. So it was a thing. I've got 5 kids. I was like, you know what? Just bundle me all up again. Love that idea. Rejuvenate all of my areas. Love it. It was a very expensive package, first of all, to even purchase it. And I will just say it was in the thousands. Very expensive. But I was like, I don't know. Am I stubborn? Delusional? I don't know. Probably a combination of both. While I was receiving this service, you can imagine it's similar like a pap smear where your little legs are up in the air and doodad. Um, I was receiving this service. You're already uncomfortable, weird. What's going on? Okay, I'll give this a go. Right? And the door opens to this treatment room.
Yikes.
And a strange gentleman, I believe in my traumatic state, I remember as having a baseball hat, maybe some kind of hoodie. I don't know. A strange man in which he was viewing my nether regions.
Wow.
And the health professional that was in the room doing the said service was just kind of like, get out, like, what are you doing? Like, and I remember his face as just being like, at the time, nobody really said anything except for the health professional that was in the room, in which she was very empathetic, like, I'm so sorry, what the fuck. And on my end, having been the person that was traumatized, I was just so stunned. Like, what just happened? And I kind of stumbled out of that business, and I cried all the way home. I'm not a crier, for those that don't know me and do know me. I'm not a crier. And I cried all the way home, mumbling to myself about, family, blah, blah, blah. That's like, I got to learn to deal with it. Like, I was completely disassociating that I was upset about all of these other things in my life that I was not upset about. It was the experience that I had just had. And I was that blubbering, crying, trying to digest what had happened, and yet wasn't able to conceptualize, I guess, my own feelings, because I had never experienced such a thing, of that kind of feeling violated. The business owner of Healthy R Us texted me, I believe, texted me to say, I'm so sorry that had happened. Don't worry. That was my that was a member of her extended family.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Still a stranger to you.
Yeah. And don't worry, he didn't see anything. I was like, says who?
That's a strange thing to say.
Strange thing. Not to worry, he didn't see your nether regions. You're buck naked. like, no. Oh my gosh. Ha ha ha. I think there was a ha 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 in that text. And if you want me to reimburse you for that visit, let me know.
Wow. Wow. That's an interesting approach to it.
Oh my goodness. And in my absolute shock and horror of the experience, I then was like, oh, no, that's okay. Because I'm a complete mess. And made the suggestion that they should get locks on their treatment rooms, to which the response was, locks don't work on our design doors and the architecture that we have here. That won't work. Wow. What the hell?
Forget safety and comfort of your clients.
Yeah, no safety,
We're
no
all
comfort
about design.
No. And I was shocked. I was really, really shocked, to which I confessed to Kylie. I have not told my husband this story at all, because I thought the kind and the bold man that he is, fucking heads were going to roll. and I hadn't made peace with what had happened. So hadn't shared.
Well, what I said to you last night is it definitely was trauma. I mean,
Yeah.
I recognize there's different levels of trauma, but your own response to it tells you it really was traumatic for you, especially the way you were kind of just trying to make it go away, trying to make the happy
Yes.
place owner comfortable. No, you don't need to refund me, it's fine. Trying to
Yeah.
make sure your husband is comfortable, not telling
Yeah.
him so heads don't roll. So, I mean, your own reaction tells you that was
Yeah.
deep.
So strike number 4 was I had gone to Walmart and they had a whole bunch of clearance sweatshirts. Super cute. And the pattern that is on it, because I'm going to keep this big. The pattern that was on the said sweatshirts was a trending look at the time.
Absolutely.
So, cute sweatshirts, they were on clearance. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to just get a whole gaggle of those and screen print them and brand them. Healthy R Us apparently got wind that I was selling these in my own place of business and felt that it was too closely resembling what they sold at their place. I will say similarities, perhaps from an, I don't know, from a across the room kind of way, that they were just so shocked by my blatant disregard, and that I should be, they insinuated the word steal. I can't remember because I've blocked it out. That I have taken basically their concept for sweatshirts, made it my own, and that I was not, oh, I forgot to tell you this part, and that I was not welcome there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I now remember I blocked that part out. For one, I feel like when you own businesses, you sometimes don't know who your people are in your corner. So I tend to always think of people as a business associate, that I have to be very careful who I share things with. So to me, Kylie, you are a safe space, whether you realize that or not. Like, you're the safe zone. And so to be able to share that with you was kind of like, and I had said to you last night, like, why all of a sudden at the moment did I even feel compelled to even share that with you? And I think it was, you had talked about all of my business movements that I have going on right now. I think that I truly have been in such a mode of business and hustle and grind and the to-do lists and profit and loss sheets and all of the things, that seeing you was all of a sudden like safe zone. She could care less about what my P&L looks like or what the building inspector's latest thing at the flip house was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you leaned into that feeling because, sometimes you don't have the opportunity when the feeling strikes or you don't take advantage of it. And
Mm-hmm.
then you got to continue to carry that bowling ball, as you
Yeah.
say.
The
So,
emotional bowling ball. Yeah.
I really follow your content and I respect it because you are intentional to listen to your body, to
Mm.
listen to your intuition. Because so often it would be easy to say, well, I'm getting older. I'm in my mid 40s. It's probably
Mm.
this. It's probably normal. And not
Mm.
further investigate it. But not Quinn. Quinn's going to dig in and find out the information for the rest of us and then share it. I mean,
And then tell you what happened to me.
yes, yes. So I really trust your content because of how open and honest you are. I mean, today you're telling us about a very terrible experience with vaginal rejuvenation. I mean, who wants to, people don't talk about that usually. So
Yeah.
um, it makes a difference, Quinn. It really makes you someone that it feels like we can trust you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I hope to always keep that way. Thank you so much, Kylie.
Thanks for
for
having me.
yes, for diving deeper into the wellness journey that I myself have been in, the experiences with companies like Healthy Are Us, which to go back to that, I would just say listen to your instincts. Don't be the people pleaser that I have been guilty of also being. And when someone pushes back at you pretty ferociously, um, you know what? I don't care if they are male, female, young, or old. You can push back and be like, no. I use the strange avatar name of Joanne. Joanne, you need to take a seat. Like back it down. Like you're out of place and you're showing yourself to being empty in some facet of your life if you are finding Quinn Vise as a threat to your existence. All right, Miss Kylie, anything that you want to follow up with or
I just want to say thanks for sharing, Quinn. You
oh,
offer so much sage advice,
oh,
and um, you're a real inspiration to keep taking care of ourselves,
yeah.
digging deeper, and making sure we're advocating with whatever for ourselves, advocating for ourselves with whatever wellness professional we're interacting with.
Yeah,
So, thank you.
absolutely. You are welcome. Thank you. And for all of you, I am on Instagram as quinn.lies. You can find me. I do have a blog in which I dive deeper into things. Um, and I'm just a DM away. So if someone has a question or is like, what in the heck is Evie? Or what in the world is vaginal rejuvenation? You can send me a DM and we can have a chat about it. And a more private setting in which you won't feel judged either. So until next time, I'm a DM away. This is Quinn Vise, and I'll talk to you soon.